Welcome, everyone, to the NBA on 2K. All the talk, Greg, leading up to this one has been about the impact of the backcourt.
And that's where it all starts. When you have a confident and competent backcourt, it just opens up a lot of things for you offensively.
So let's take a look at the Boston Celtics starting lineup. Holiday in the backcourt. To his side is White. The small and power forwards, the star pair of Brown and Tatum. And it's Porzingis in at center.
Well, 7'3" doesn't need much of a vertical, easy finish for KP.
And once he got to the 10, I think he was surprised to find himself that wide open.
I think defensively, that is not the way you want to start. Giving up high percentage looks, that doesn't typically end well.
Outside Mathurin. Pass to Halliburton. Three-pointer. Jaylen Brown with the rebound. And here's Brown. He'll bring it up for Boston. It's a three-point game. Holiday gets the bucket.
Yeah, by most standards, Jrue Holiday is very selective with his three-point shooting, but boy, he can knock it down.
For Boston, they've gone 2 of 3 here to start out the game. You know, many see Brown as a scorer, but Doris, he's put more of an emphasis on his defense in recent seasons.
You're exactly right, Kevin. He's taken tremendous pride in asking his coaches to put him on the best offensive player. When he's the point of attack defensively, look out. He can give a lot of headaches to ball handlers.
Launches a 3. Nembhard's shot is good.
And he likes to get in a rhythm early. Nice dribble.
For Boston, they've gone 3 of 5 shooting the ball so far. They grab their own miss. And it's White missing.
And he just hasn't been able to make anything this quarter.
Mathurin attacking. Does not find the basket. His third miss. He's made just 1 so far.
Boy, a really tough quarter for this guy. Just struggling to make shots right now.
That one goes. Count it.
Yeah, Holiday has the mid-range in his arsenal, boy. Doesn't matter where he is on the floor. You better contest.
Gets the three-pointer to fall.
But you love the activity out there. What a play. This guy is busy on the offensive end.
I will go to David Aldridge, who had a chance to talk with head coach Rick Carlisle.
He noted how much extra film they're watching heading into this, and one guy that jumped out at them was Kristaps Porzingis. He said scoring over that guy is a challenge. It's not just the size, it's how well he positions himself. And he's a patient shot blocker. He waits for you to make your move. See how they approach it. Kevin?
Thank you, David. And so Joe Mazzulla calls for the timeout. He wants to check in with his team and regroup. So Indiana ends up with a new group on the floor. In a blazing start to the new season, we look at the updated power rankings. Some teams are hot and some teams aren't. But take a look at the Kings. They're gaining on some of the teams above them, trying hard to crack into that top 5.
And looking at Indiana, they're moving in the wrong direction. The good news, though, it's still early in the season. A lot of games left to be played, plenty of time to turn things around. And guys, you've heard of overpassing. Well, that shot was an example of underpassing.
Well, there's no doubt there were better options on the floor, but it certainly seemed like he had his mind made up.
And when you think back to that Sabonis-Halliburton trade, Doris, it really worked out for both teams.
It's rare, Kevin, that you can talk about a, quote, win-win for both sides. Most trades are a little bit harder to evaluate because they involve more moving pieces. This was a straight-up one-to-one swap of young stars and positional fits for each side.
Here's Toppin following the basket by Jaylen Brown.
You're not going to see that very often. Plenty of space, but he just, let's face it, he needs something.
And there's the big-time jam as he slams it right over Toppin.
This guy, one of the most elite athletes in the game, Jaylen Brown, finishes beautifully.
And even with good coverage defensively that time, he has confidence to drill the 3.
Wasted no time on that shot, but it's off the mark. Pacers trail by 6. The shot's good from Bryant.
Just such a good finisher around the bucket. Thomas Bryant has so many moves he can turn to. Nice.
And the dunk by Porzingis.
Yeah, I mean, maybe could have tried for a more memorable dunk than that one.
And we know he's capable of those memorable ones. Count it good. Celtics leading by 4. Pass to Tatum. There's 38 seconds left to play in the first. Shoots over Toppin, and there are the Celtics with another basket.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Sinks the three-pointer.
Well, the defense deserves to get burned. Absolutely no excuse for leaving him open.
There's Holiday after Indiana gets the 3. White, good.
And the story here, Kevin, early on is how well they've shot the basketball.
Nesmith. His three-pointer's off the mark.
And they have a narrow edge here in rebounding early on, and you wonder what kind of a role that's going to play moving forward.
Deflects the pass. The scoring fast and furious as we end the first quarter. Celtics lead by 6. Live from Cambridge. And if you're just joining us, we've played through one quarter in this one. When you consider how the Celtics are doing, guys, what jumps out to you stats-wise?
Just a terrific first quarter, sparked really by their unselfishness.
I'll tell you, that willingness to make the extra pass, that is what creates good looks. It also forces the defense to scramble.
On the floor for Boston, Tatum and Horford man the post position. And it's Hauser in at the 3. It's safe to say Jason Tatum is a bona fide superstar.
He certainly is, Kevin, and really been a big-time star from the time he was 23 years old. Lots of pressure on this young player, but Jason's not only embraced it, he's thrived under it. Well, if you offer no resistance defensively, he's going to knock down the 3. It's really that simple, guys.
The 3 from Tatum. Pacers with the rebound. There's Walker with the 3. That falls. Nice feed that time from Halliburton. Halliburton's got his 4th assist with that last one here tonight. Pass to Hauser. To the paint. Here's Tatum. Tatum using his size inside.
Well, this guy flat out carrying the load for them offensively. He is taking and making good shots. What a terrific job.
Here's Pritchard. He's covered by McConnell. Takes the 3. Pritchard gets the bucket. Pritchard's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball.
That's a layup for him. He's just too open.
Here's McConnell. Trying to answer back, but that 3 is off the mark. Celtics leading by 8. You know, Doris, from the moment Jason Tatum entered the NBA, he has been the guy on his team. How big a burden do you think that is for a player to carry?
Well, Jason Tatum, regardless of how much responsibility he has always worn it gracefully. This young man, from the time he was a little kid in St. Louis, has dreamed of leading an NBA team. He is doing exactly that.
Catching up on the changes now for Indiana. Turner's checked in for Walker. And Andrew Nembhard's subbed in for T.J. McConnell. Here's Nembhard. And once again off the mark by Indiana. The Celtics have gone 3 of 7 shooting the ball here in the second quarter. And the foul on Obi Toppin. That's his first foul. Indiana making some changes. Siakam is checked in for Toppin. And it's Benedict Mathurin in for Nesmith. Jaylen Brown's checked in for Boston. White comes in for Pritchard.
You simply must stay attached to Jaylen Brown in a catch-and-shoot situation so dangerous.
And nothing has fallen for him right now. And here's Holiday, who will bring it up for the Celtics. They lead by 11, the largest margin of the game. And here we go. Fast break. Halliburton's got it. And Siakam gets it to go on the assist by Halliburton. Halliburton's got 5 assists tonight. It's White on the wing. And White White with the stuff.
Don't sleep on the athleticism of Derek White. How fast did he get off his feet to punch that one home?
A moment now to hear from our sideline reporter, Hall of Famer David Aldridge. David.
Kevin, well, like a lockdown corner in football, teams just try to keep the ball away from Jrue Holiday. He says, I feel like they're not afraid of me, but like, okay, get him off the ball. To me, that's respect. I don't need other people telling me how good I am. You can see it by their actions. Kevin?
So true. He can be intimidating, David, and we thank you for that report. So, Doris, here's a question for you. Should the NBA widen the court? Because the corner three now is such a staple in these offenses.
That's exactly right. One of the most coveted, Kevin. Because the proximity of the shot is so desirable. Here's what we know unequivocally. There's no way they're going to widen the court because it would take out some of the money-making courtside seats. That's not happening.
And we've got a timeout from Joe Mazzulla. Looking for a breather and maybe just one or two things to talk about. So an entirely new group in now for Indiana. Thomas Bryant, he's checked in for Miles Turner. Johnson comes in for Pascal Siakam. Jackson, he's checked in for Halliburton. And Shepard subbed in for Andrew Nembhard. Al Horford is checked in for Boston. Now here is Holiday. 5 points in the game. Again, the miss by the Celtics.
Something that's kept this game close is the fact that the rebound stats for both teams are almost identical. Defensively, they just look out of sync, not closing out on the threes in time.
Outside, Horford. Holiday, the pass to Horford. Yes, and it's Holiday with the assist that time. Holiday's got assist number 7 for him tonight. The 3 from Johnson. And that one is off. Last game for Boston, they picked up the W against Milwaukee. Outside, Horford fires the 3. It's good for his second make. He's made 2 of 3 so far.
Well, you like that he shakes off that rocky first period and knocks down a shot. Nice.
Jackson misses. Boston leading by 8. It's a 4-second differential between the shot clock and game clock. And it's White missing.
Well, they have the advantage, but you still feel like this guy needs to find a way to get himself going.
The shot's there for him, and he's got to take it. I don't care if he doesn't convert. That's a shot he has to continue to take.
Pass to Horford. Brown outside. 3 seconds left. Holiday gets the bucket. And now a 10-point Celtic lead.
And guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with their work down low.
And so it's the Boston Celtics going into the break with a 10-point lead. They're shooting the ball so well in this one. A great performance from the field. And we'll be back with you shortly.
Look, I know this is going off topic, but during the first half, we were doing some dribbling drills. So Kenny, as the point guard here, let us take some time now to talk about the first half. A commanding performance for the Boston Celtics. And that's a halftime wrap.
And if you're just joining us in this one, first half is in the books. 1 half to go. You know, guys, Jason Tatum has really been making it happen.
And if he can keep shooting from deep like he did in the first half, he's going to be more than a handful.
What I love is they've continued to feed this guy. Ride the hot hand until the defense does something about it.
The perimeter pairing with Nembhard and Mathurin. Siakam is the 4, and he'll be next to Turner at the 5. And it's Halliburton in at the point guard position. So that's the group out there for Indiana. Doris, some great shooters on this Boston team, but at times, don't you think they settle from the perimeter?
Well, Kevin, obviously this is a coaching staff that puts a heavy emphasis on three-point shooting. They led the league in makes, they led the league in attempts. But obviously, your two best players, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, with their size and athleticism and driving ability, you want to try to find the right balance. They do a great job of that.
Indiana again missing.
Boy, that makes them 0 for 3 to start the second half. Not the start you were hoping for here.
White, good.
He's not always assertive on the catch, but Derek White, rise and fire from three-point, and it is on target.
A three-pointer is right on target.
Their first basket in 4 tries. Let's see if that basket gets them going. It can be contagious now.
The three from Tatum. And the Celtics hit again from deep.
And an eye for an eye. Both teams working to stretch the floor.
Well, that three-point shot just gives you so much room to operate on the offensive end.
And Rick Carlisle decides to call timeout. He wants to regroup and go over the strategy. Let's pause to take a look at the teams that really made their opposing teams earn their points a season ago. 5th on the list, the Celtics.
I mean, they held opponents to so few points that it allowed them to win games even when their offense wasn't clicking. Solid rebound there, and with the score like it is, that's an area where they can't afford to get lazy.
Pacers trail by 13. Jackson has the open look, and that one's on target from the wing. Boston's gone 2 of 5 with the three-point shot since coming out of the break. And Holiday kicks to White. Here's the floater. Toppin pulls it in. Toppin's got his 4th rebound in this one. And we talk about Derek White. Doris, how impressive has his rise been?
Kevin, it's been both impressive and sometimes feels improbable. He was not highly recruited. There were no expectations on him when he arrived in the NBA. This guy has turned himself into one of the premier defenders from the guard spot, an excellent shot blocker, and so rock steady as a ball handler on the offensive end.
And the action on hold, as it appears there's been an injury. Yep, he's definitely in a bad way out there right now. Tough to see.
Yeah, it looks like he's in real pain. Definitely a concern right now.
Well, these are the moments that can be gut-wrenching for him and his team, right? Anytime you see an injury like this, certainly your heart goes out to him and to his family. Oh, the defense has to stay attached to him on the perimeter.
Pass to Brown. They get the rebound. Porzingis. And the dunk by Porzingis.
Well, you want Kristaps Porzingis to insert himself off the rebounding aspect. Go to the offensive board and cash in.
And Tatum with a clear path to the hoop. Oh, and the jam by Tatum.
I tell you, this guy is capable of some amazing finishes. Jason Tatum, my goodness.
Good work there as it goes. Jackson's got 6. Celtics leading by 12. Holiday, the pass to Tatum. Inside. Here's Brown. And the layup's good off the glass.
And they're forcing the ball inside, and it's working like a charm.
Pacers have gone 4 of 9 from the floor so far in the third. Bryant, the bounce pass. In the corner, it's Toppin. No good on the triple. For Boston, they've gotten 6 of their 12 shots to drop for him here in the second half so far. Holiday, no one around him. That 3 off the mark.
Boy, he won't miss many from that spot. The defense gets lucky there.
GA, these Boston Celtics are unquestionably a top-tier offensive unit.
Stupendous shooting, excellent instincts with the ball. Yeah, they are a model offense in many ways, making it tough for many teams to keep up with.
And Rick Carlisle decides to call timeout. Wants to talk some things over, might be seeing some things to adjust. Pacers trail by 16. Mathurin for 3. That falls. Nice feed that time from Halliburton. Mathurin's got his 3rd basket of the night right there. Over to the wing. Here's Cornette. Turner covering. Kept alive. Out to the wing. Connects from three-point range. Hauser's got his first 3 points of the game.
And with the lead, I like the strategy here. Continue to get the ball to guys who can do something with it.
One thing we've learned in the NBA, the game is never over. So you've got to continue to score, continue to build your lead.
Now here's Brown. 16-point lead, the largest margin in the game.
That's how you share the rock. He does this time and time again.
Here's Mathurin. He's got 9.
And this will be the last possession of the quarter if they're patient.
Well, it's amazing. If you finish quarters the right way, it can have such a great impact on the outcome of a game.
Goes up and lays it nice and easy. Mathurin's got 11 points.
Pretty dime there, the kind of ball movement coaches love to see.
Here's Hauser. No good on the last second attempt there. What a performance for Jason Tatum. He has been the story so far. And a worthy candidate tonight as we take a look at our State Farm assist of the game.
And he sliced the D wide open with this feed. They had no chance to prevent that basket.
Well, that's what a great pass will do, right? You love the unselfish play.
And 1 quarter to go in a game that to this point has not been an evenly fought contest. Let's find out what the news is on Derek White. David, what's the update?
Hi, guys. The head athletic trainer for the Celtics provided some information to us. The belief right now is that it's a high ankle sprain. Now, they're still running tests, but the swelling is making that a little more complicated. Injuries never come at a good time, but somehow it seems even more frustrating when they happen this early. Tough break for sure. Guys?
Thank you, David. Guys, the only thing you can wish for is that the prognosis isn't quite as bad as they're making it out to be.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Was really hoping for better news than that, but that does not sound encouraging.
No, I mean, this is a big blow, and it will force the team to make some adjustments, not just in terms of personnel in the court, but in terms of strategy.
And a look at the 5 for the Celtics to start the 4th quarter. Tatum in the front court alongside Horford. And it's Hauser in at the 2-guard spot. And that one misses. On the Pacers' doors last season, trading for Pascal Siakam to complement this hungry team.
And Kevin, it's important in a couple of ways. First of all, he's a 2-time All-Star who's got a championship pedigree. The other part of this is Indiana is an equal opportunity offense, so they want to share the basketball. But Pascal brings individual playmaking and shot making, and sometimes that's a must-have in this league. But Halliburton can be so clever with the basketball, helps yet another teammate take advantage of an opening.
To the inside, here's Holiday, and right on through for another basket. He's got 5 made on 5 of 9 shooting.
They're doing a really good job of getting the ball inside and attacking the paint. That's an area they have completely dominated. And so many teams now look to establish the perimeter to set up everything else.
No doubt it's a growing trend, Greg, and he is highly accurate tonight.
1 made 3 formed for the game. Does he focus closer in? Let's see.
Shoots from the corner. And Pritchard pulls it down. Boston leading by 17. On the wing, Holiday. Again, Holiday missing. Indiana's gone 2 or 3 in the 4th quarter from long range. Good shooting so far. Walker the pass to Nembhard. For the 3. And Horford pulls it down.
I'll tell you, it feels all night like this guy's been forcing shots, rushing shots. He's really struggling on the offensive end. Well, what he lacks in size for a typical center, he makes up for with all that athleticism. Boy, can he elevate.
And Rick Carlisle decides to call timeout. It's a chance for them to regroup and refocus. Just a little under 2.5 minutes have passed now here in the 4th. McConnell finds Mathurin. Good. And McConnell gets the assist. McConnell's got 3 assists in the game. And here's Tatum. He'll bring it up for the Celtics. Banked in off the glass. Tatum's got 27.
Jason Tatum is a thirsty scorer, and right now filling it up.
Mathurin for 3. Rebounded by the Celtics. Holiday's got rebound number 7 for him tonight.
2 minutes remaining in the
Brown
game.
inside the line. Rebounded by Jackson. Pacers trail by 18. Siakam inside the three-point line. And he gets it to go, hitting off the back of the rim. 1:52 left to play in the final quarter. To the left wing. Left side, Porzingis. And that one is good with the extra effort on the glass. And the Celtics lead by 18. Takes a three. It's hauled in by Porzingis. Porzingis has got 8 rebounds in this game.
And this is going to end in a lopsided victory. I love the tenacity and aggressiveness as well as the ability to close. You really got to give it up here for the Celtics.
Their hard work on the glass paid off.
I tell you what, they're both excellent rebounding teams, and it was a tough battle underneath all game. And I think ultimately that earned the W.
And it'll mark their 4th win on the year. Actually, their 5th win on the year.
And once it becomes official, this win gives them a nice confidence boost against this team. They'll face them twice more this season.
And you know, looking back at all the contributions tonight, it was a really phenomenal all-around game for Jason Tatum.
This guy has been shot-making all night long. He commands the rock and takes over.
Here's Pritchard, following the basket by Pascal Siakam. There's the triple. Pritchard gets the bucket.
Spirited performance. You love to get this kind of win, especially on the road.
You've got to be able to block out all distractions in enemy territory. This team did a tremendous job staying focused on the task at hand.
Now here's Brown. Outside Holiday. They get it back. Pritchard passes to Tatum. Another shot. And the shot is good, dropping in off the front of the rim.
Yeah, you have to be able to take mid-range jumpers at times. I know it's not a high-value shot, but for Tatum, sometimes that's what the defense gives him.
Here's Pritchard. He's covered by McConnell. And there's the foul. It'll go on T.J. McConnell. That is his first foul of the game.
Fouling like that isn't how you get back in the game.
Here's Tatum. And so it's Boston easily grabbing this one. A resounding victory for them. And Greg in enemy territory.